Hey guys, and welcome to Solar Cabin Channel. Now in past videos I have talked about having a fire extinguisher and having a smoke detector in your houses and off-grid cabins. Highly recommend those. Today I've got 3 other products that I'm going to recommend. These are products that I bought for my own cabin, for my own use, because of some recent incidents around my place here. And so one of the products I'm going to talk about, this is a fire blanket. I will discuss how that is used and show you how that is used. It can be better in some cases than even a fire extinguisher. Certainly better than using the old soda box to spray on, stuff like that. So we'll talk about that. The other product is a carbon monoxide detector. This is a carbon monoxide detector that uses batteries. Doesn't have to be hardwired in, so really good for people that may have a power outage or off-gridders. And the other product that I really like and have found a lot of use for is a Top Test. This is a combustible gas detector. I will show you how this works here in a minute. This will detect propane and natural gas. These are 3 products that I think a lot of you should probably have around your houses, and you can get them all at a very affordable price on Amazon. Links are in the comments if you want to go look at them. Okay, so let me talk about first the fire blanket. We'll set these other 2 out of the way. Okay, so what a fire blanket is, it is basically a blanket that is made out of fiberglass fibers that are very tightly woven. Fiberglass and protected with flame retardant, will not catch on fire, and it also can be used to smother a fire, which I'll explain here. Now what it does, it comes in this case. It has the instructions for how to use it on the case. Okay, and these are widely used all over the place, especially in commercial restaurants, schools, places like that. And it has a grommet at the top, so you can hang this on your wall. I recommend that you have one probably in your kitchen, and at least in your garage would probably be a good place to have these next to your fire extinguisher, because you may want to grab this instead of a fire extinguisher, depending on the type of fire, which I'll talk about. So how this basically uses, you can see it has these tabs down here, and then it has a Velcro cap here. You just pull these down and it opens this up, all right? Then you're going to pull this out. And this blanket is 40 inches by 40 inches. You can get them in different sizes by different makers. It has tabs at the top here. And what you're going to do is you're just going to open it up and put it in front of you. Okay, it's 40 inches, so it's a big blanket. You're going to hold it in front of you, and then you're going to put it over whatever it is that is on fire. Now, I'll give you just a quick demonstration and why I got this here from my place. This is my pan. I love this pan. But the other day, I left some chicken in it, and I forgot to cover it with my cover, and it just happened to catch on fire. Or grease fire. It burned up my pan before I even realized what was going on. And then my smoke detector went off, and I'm like, oh my heck. I went over there, and I'm like, well, how am I going to put this out with the fire extinguisher without making a complete mess of my propane stove? And that's when I got the idea that I needed to have something better. Now, I used baking soda, and I put it out, but that ruined all my chicken, damn it. And I really wanted that chicken. So what you can use this for is you can put this over the pan, okay? And all you do is just put it over the pan. That will smother the pan by taking away the oxygen. Fire doesn't burn without oxygen, so you're going to smother it. Just leave it there. You don't have to touch it or mess it or anything like that. Just kind of seal it down so there's no oxygen getting to it. Within a couple of seconds, it's going to suffocate that fire and put it completely out. And hopefully, you didn't ruin your chicken. But you could also use this in the event of someone catching on fire, and that's why they're used a lot in schools. Usually they have a larger one, and fire departments also carry these in their fire trucks, because you can take one of these and you can wrap it around a person to smother a fire if they have their arms or legs or something on fire. Get them to lay down on the ground, put this over them to smother the fire. So you can also use it that way. Excellent product. This is very well made. I've checked it out. All the stitchings are good, and it meets all the CE certifications and requirements for being a fire blanket. Very highly recommended, very affordable on Amazon. I'd get one at least for your kitchen, your garage. Maybe you want to have one in your RVs and campers, and you off-gridders put them in your cabins. Another thing I forgot to mention about this fire blanket is this is completely reusable. After you have smothered a fire and put the fire out, you can just fold this back up, put it back in the cover, put it back on your wall. You can use it over and over. Unlike a lot of fire extinguishers that are not refillable, this can be used over and over and over for as many times as there's a fire. Fiberglass material that is protected from high flames is not going to burn up. Now, if it does happen to get damaged or something like that, they're not that expensive. Go get you another one. But you can use this over and over, and I really like that. Okay, the next product I highly recommend is you get you a carbon monoxide detector. Now, if you have one of the smoke detectors that has a carbon monoxide detector in it, great. But a lot of smoke detectors do not come with a carbon monoxide detector. Why do you want a carbon monoxide detector? Carbon monoxide is a common pollution that is put off by natural gas, propane appliances, gas generators, and from your vehicle exhaust, and any malfunctioning appliance, even wood stoves, can put off carbon monoxide. Now, just recently, a couple weeks ago here, we had a family that was staying higher up in the mountains in a recreation cabin. The whole family started getting sick. They had no idea what was causing it. Luckily, a family member called up to check on them. When they told them what they were experiencing, the symptoms, they told them to get out of the house immediately and call the fire department. They called the fire department showed up and checked, and the whole cabin was completely full of carbon monoxide. I don't know what the source of the carbon monoxide was, but if they'd have stayed around in there, most likely they would have passed out. Within a few hours, they could have died from carbon monoxide poisoning. And unfortunately, that happens all the time. Here in the U.S., over 400 people a year are killed by carbon monoxide poison, and thousands end up in the emergency room with carbon monoxide poisoning. Okay? So you want to get a dedicated carbon monoxide monitor like this. This one is sold on Amazon at a very reasonable price, and I have tested and checked it out. It does meet OSHA standards. Now, what that means is how these work. This will detect carbon monoxide up to certain levels where it would be considered dangerous. It will immediately alert you if there's carbon monoxide detected over 50 parts per million. That is the OSHA standard. It will detect that, and what it will do, it will show this light up here, okay, that it has detected carbon monoxide. That is not considered a dangerous enough level that you need to immediately get out of the house or anything. It is basically warning you that there is some source of carbon monoxide. It may be coming from a window outside with all the cars driving by, especially in the city. You can get a lot of carbon monoxide. But you may want to check, because it's notified you that the light's on. You want to check and see if you can find out what the source of carbon monoxide might be, and shut it off, turn it off, or whatever. Have the appliances checked out to see if there's a carbon monoxide leak. Now, if the carbon monoxide builds up to 200 parts per million, which is the OSHA standard, that is considered a very dangerous level of carbon monoxide, then the alarm would go off. However, this one is actually set for 150 parts per million. So it is set a little bit lower than the OSHA standard, so it will alert you even sooner that there is a possibility of a very dangerous amount of carbon monoxide in your houses. When that is detected, then the alarm will go off, and it will keep going off, and to let you know that it has reached a dangerous saturation of carbon monoxide in your house. You need to get everybody out, get your pets out, and if necessary, if anybody's sick, contact the fire department. They may need oxygen, they may need to go to emergency room. Okay, why I like this unit, it's very affordable. It uses 2 AAA batteries. They do not send the batteries. You will need to get your own batteries. I think in the listing it says AA batteries, but it is 2 AAA batteries that goes into this unit. It is small, compact, works very well. I have tested it out. It does have a test button, so you can test it to check to make sure that it's working. You should replace your batteries the same time you replace your smoke detector batteries. About every 6 months, you should replace the batteries in these. Other than that, just check it once in a while. Now, one thing, carbon monoxide is slightly lighter than air, so it will rise up as it's being released. And so you want to put these up fairly high on the wall. You don't have to put them right up next to the ceiling, but fairly high on the wall, away from where kids can possibly mess with it and take the batteries out for their toys and stuff like that, but high enough up that it will detect the carbon monoxide as it is rising. That is the best place for these. Okay, now this next product here is primarily for people that have either propane or natural gas appliances. A lot of homes have natural gas appliances. Off-gridders and other people, homesteaders, we may be using propane appliances. Basically, those are combustible gases. And the problem with both propane and natural gas is they are heavier than air, so they will settle down and they don't have any smell. You're not going to notice that they're there. And then they will build up maybe in a place like a crawl space or in a basement. And once the spark sets them off, they can blow up an entire house. And this does happen, unfortunately, quite often. Now, if you have your stuff professionally installed or you did it yourself, you still probably want to have one of these just to test your appliances. Basically, this is made by Top Tests, and it has both a high and low sensitivity on it. And I'll turn on the light here. It has a 30-second countdown, and what that is calibrating this unit. And you can see this nozzle right here. This is where you're going to put it. You can put this to test your burners on your stove. You can test your furnace. You can go around all the different connections on your pipes for your propane or natural gas appliances and test those. That's what I did here in my cabin, and I'm going to show you here how sensitive this is, because this is a really sensitive unit, and I really like that. Because it will pick up even the smallest amount of propane. It's going to pick up and sense if there's a problem. Okay, now it beeped. You heard it beep. That's to tell me it's calibrated. So now we'll go over and I'll test this on my propane stove to show you how it works. Okay, so this is my propane stove. And this stove is really old. This came out of a 1964 RV that I transferred it into my cabin. And I always get concerned with older appliances. Okay, a lot of older RV appliances and things like that. Over time, things can get shook loose. It's shook loose, the seals may start to break down, and so you could have leaks. So it's a good idea to test them, but I would even test new appliances anymore. All right, so what it's done, I've already calibrated this because it beeps, so it's ready to go. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my burner here, just a very slight amount to release just a little bit of propane. And there it went off. We'll turn the propane off. And there it went off, okay? And that was just a very small amount of propane. Now you notice that as soon as I moved it away from the propane source, it stops detecting it because it's not detecting any propane out of the nozzle here. But I've turned the stove off now, but there's still going to be a little bit of residual propane there, so I'll show you how sensitive this is. We'll put it back in there. And there, it's still sensing, even though the stove is off, it's still sensing a small amount, very small amount of residual propane in the burner. We'll do it one more time. And it is still sensing a residual amount. Now that is going to dissipate. If I was to blow on it, all that propane would just go away into the air here. But this also works on natural gas appliances and propane appliances. So let's go talk about that. Okay, so this is again made by Top Test, TOPTES. They do send it. It comes with a really nice case. They do include the AAA batteries. Make sure you get the batteries in the correct way. I put mine in backwards the first time. Couldn't figure out why it worked. It does have a 30-second calibration. You just push the button, hold it. It will calibrate and then beep and tell you that it's ready to be used. Then I would use this on all of your propane and natural gas appliances. Okay? I would go around all the pipes, while it's working and when it's not working, doesn't matter. And your burners on your gas ranges and things like that. The oven, I would test those. You people that have RVs and campers that have propane appliances in it, this would be a dang handy gadget. And once you're done testing everything around your house, take it over to your kids' houses and test their appliances. Test your friends' appliances. Test if you have renters or something like that. Test all the appliances in your rental units. Because the last thing you want to have is a leak of propane or natural gas that could cause a serious accident, cost somebody their lives. All right, very excellent product. I'm very happy with this. It has very high sensitivity, so it's going to pick up on even small amounts of leaks. So this is something that I think anyone who works with those appliances or has those appliances should probably have, and I would keep this in your toolbox definitely. All right, folks, those are 3 products that I would definitely recommend for people whether you live off-grid or on-grid in your own homes. Get yourself a fire blanket, get yourself a carbon monoxide detector, get you a combustible gas or propane and natural gas detector. They're not very expensive, folks, but they could just save your lives. All right, have a great day.